So our first contest for the actual Rebellion pay-per-view, it was Steve Maclin, Chris Sabin, and Jay White.
Yep.
A lot of this rivalry was on before Alex Shelley re-debuted within Impact, so that's why this match happened. I understand that it was a whole Punisher thing, but Steve Maclin looked like a school shooter. Like, it was...
He did, but his character work is getting better.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, I mean, he's getting better as a wrestler.
Yep.
He's getting more comfortable as a singles competitor.
Yep.
Even though, actually, I think he and Wesley Blake, or whatever his new name is now, they won tag team champions somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're possibly even going to bring him in to do a thing. I mean,
do a program with the Motor City Machine Guns.
That'd be cool.
Because I don't really know what Jay's White future is in Impact Wrestling.
The Forgotten Sons were definitely screwed over. It wasn't their fault on what happened. They shouldn't have been punished.
Right.
But we wouldn't have had the Steve Maclin if they were still in WWE.
Yeah, we would.
But everybody worked really well in this. You have a ton of great wrestlers, and also Chris Sabin was leading. He was 100% leading.
He was pacing the match. The match was being paced according to what Chris Sabin was doing. But yeah, otherwise
he knows how to pace a multi-man. I mean, this was a really really fun opener just in general.
Yeah.
But it was a crucifix pin for Steve Maclin to win the match.
Yeah.
It was kind of an interesting finish, but overall it was fine. I'll give it a full thumbs up on that one. All right, Peanut Gallery, let's make this majestic again, starting with a match that I would not change in any way, shape, or form. The rivalry was great. I liked how they incorporated the wife, who's also a wrestler, and took a Musa spear, and also they incorporated it in a different promotion.
Yep.
That was great.
All right, let's move on.
Well, I'm sorry. When it's a great thing, you don't have to do anything.
This one should have been switched time-wise and placement on the card with Taya, Valkyrie, and Deonna Purrazzo.
Absolutely. I agree with you. But also, what I would do with this, given the same circumstances, is I would have Rosemary in some singles matches to get her back into how good she is, because she was not wrestling at all. I watch Impact every single week, people. She did not wrestle between the Battle Royal when she won this opportunity to actually wrestling in the match.
Right.
Have her in some singles matches.
Right.
Have her face Savannah Evans. Right. And all of it was backstage. It's like, okay, the champion doesn't technically have to wrestle. She's the champion. But you need to showcase Rosemary as the legitimate singles competitor that she is. Right. And they did not do that.
Yeah.
It was a huge wasted opportunity by Scott D'Amore. A very rare miss. Mm-hmm. This was totally useless.
This was a clusterfuck, man.
Yep. There was no storyline to it.
Right.
Literally, this was the last match announced for this card, and it deserves so much better.
Yeah, it does. And given the history with Heath and Rhino in this trio,
it would have been a perfect opportunity to have a 2-on-2 tag team match with them, with maybe some weapons.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a much better use of time and energy than this 8-man bullshit, because now they have to pay all these guys for pay-per-view. Right. And it's like, it's not necessary.
Right. And then if you want to add another tag team match in there, which I would highly recommend,
do major players W. Morrissey, Jordan Grace.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only other one that makes sense to me.
Yeah, the rest of them, it didn't make any sense to me to have any of these other teams in this match whatsoever. This was stupid. By all means, I would have done what you did. Mm-hmm. Have 2 different tag team matches that had rivalries. Mm-hmm. Probably would have been a better use of everybody's time.
It would have been.
I wouldn't have done anything different, because this was a match. This was a vanity match. Mm-hmm, that's all it was. I think they tried to get the magic with JONAH and PCO again, but it's like they actually had a rivalry. So what the fuck can you do? And to be honest with you, I think bringing in
I would have rather had PCO versus JONAH in this over Ishii.
Right. I would have had Ishii in maybe some more competitive matches on this. Maybe mention Ishii at Rebellion when he was wrestling on Rampage, a much larger audience.
Right.
I don't understand why they did not take advantage of that fact.
Right.
But they just didn't.
Right.
And the thing is if JONAH is leaving, I mean, we thought he was leaving a couple of months ago and he didn't.
Yeah, they extended the contract, but I only think they extended it this pay-per-view. So
oh, really?
Unless they've negotiated a new contract, which I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything either, but, I
guess we'll see.
I guess so. I don't know. But this was it was a wasted opportunity for something that could have been magical, and they just didn't do it. I wouldn't have done anything different with this match.
Because we all know what the real rivalry is Mike Bailey and Ace Austin, and they just need to get the belt on one of those two.
Right, and I'm hoping Trey Miguel is not leaving or anything. I'm hoping he's maybe even advancing into a different position on the card, maybe even main event, because he's just one of their most consistent workers.
Yeah.
He really elevated this championship. A lot of fun overall, and I just don't like that Ace Austin is with the X Division at this point. I guess because Mike Bailey.
Yeah, Ace Austin, Mike Bailey, perfect rivalry right there.
Yeah, I don't think bringing the X Division champion into this is necessary, personally.
I think it's good.
This, once again, we already said that there was a placement difference. This felt more like a world title match than the actual Knockouts world title match. The rivalry, harkening back to the rivalry past, was awesome. The match itself was constructed really well. And this is where Taya Valkyrie did not have to wrestle to put over what's going to happen here.
Right.
You know why? Because Taya Valkyrie's been wrestling as a singles.
Right.
She wrestled in AAA. And Deonna Purrazzo, she's been consistently defending these champions. Now she's not the champ, but now what are you going to be doing with the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion?
Oh, she'll probably end up going to fucking
Do you think
AEW.
You think she'll be signing with them?
Deonna Purrazzo signing with AEW?
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see it either. I think she's going to lose that.
So she'll drop it to an AEW person.
Yeah, because they cannot do something with Deonna. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, but,
I dropped it to Ty Conti.
Don't get me started. Sammy Guevara blocked me, by the way. He didn't like me when I posted him proposing to his ex. I'm pretty sure you were fucking Conti right after that, too. And then he blocked me. I might have deserved it. The rivalry going into it was good. The match itself was good. The winner was right. Also, I think Chris Sabin was the one who was pinned.
Yes.
And that's good because Jay White would have been hurt by Steve Maclin winning more than Sabin. Sabin is a veteran.
Right.
Jay White.
And honestly, I think Chris Sabin is kind of moving into the tag team division again, which is fine.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. This is a good wrap
Steve
up.
Maclin is moving on to bigger and better things.
Hopefully, maybe even going after. Well, you see, this is where. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't have said the X Division because he already went for the X Division champion a handful of times.
Yeah, just put him into a world title picture or something along those lines.
This is what happens when you don't have, because the X Division champion is their technical secondary, and me talking about the the television champion. This is kind of that situation where they have a roster that's diverse enough to where it's sort of a crime to not have another secondary.
Right. But, it is what it is.
It is.
There we go.
I wouldn't have done anything different, though.
Yeah.
You see, this is what happens when the show is really good and the rivalries are built okay.
Really, really good ending to this rivalry. At least I hope it is.
I hope so, too. But the problem now is, what other team can go for this belt? Rosemary and Havoc again?
No, there are other. I'm sure that they will find other tag teams to go after this title.
Now, I could see tag teams coming in, maybe with some NWA stuff, maybe with some AEW women's stuff. There are plenty of women that are out there that Impact's working with that can go for these titles. I didn't like them bringing back these champions. I was kind of concerned. They're doing fine with it, but what now?
Well, and you never know.
I don't even have a fucking thing. I don't like NWA bringing back the women's tag team champions.
Well, NWA works with a lot more independent wrestlers.
That's true, so that makes sense. But Impact Wrestling doesn't. They work with AEW, and AEW already has 2 women's champions.
But you never know.
You never know.
This match was changed, obviously, but
the rivalry going into it was fine because obviously you have the Ring of Honor World Champion who is not joining Honor No More. Right. Thank God he didn't, because that whole faction is a non-whatever anyway.
Although Eddie Edwards didn't need this heel turn.
I think he did.
It helped him character-wise.
Oh, absolutely. He was kind of dead in the water as a babyface, and him as a heel, he works much better as a heel anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So there we go. That's it. What are we doing next week? We are doing...
we're doing a double trouble here on two different sides of the fucking globe. We have the first of 3 Triple Manias in Monterey, so we'll be covering that.
No, there was already a Triple Mania, wasn't there?
No,
that was Triple Mania Regia.
Yeah, that was Triple Mania Regia. So there is that one. So we'll be watching that on Saturday. And then we also have Wrestling Don't Taku on the 1st. So we will have a double trouble on that. And we'll do our wrestling, heckling, all the fun stuff. Yep. So if you did enjoy this video, remember to like, subscribe, follow, check out the Linktree QR code right there, this area. And as always, be
majestic.